Jim Harbaugh's contract. Things are heating up. I talked to the three wise men. I've got the inside scoop of what went down end of last week and what we can expect from Harbaugh's contract as we go into the bye week, right? He addressed it a week ago Monday. Things really have sped up since he publicly addressed his contract situation. NFL teams already kind of snipping at Harbaugh's heels, hoping to get a chance to hire him as their head coach, maybe after this season. We're going to talk all about that here on the Michigan Football Report. But before we do, I want to ask you guys to predict the score. Michigan State. It's a night game. There's going to be drunkoids everywhere. It might be one of the craziest environments in all of college football on Saturday, mostly because Spartan fans will be probably throwing bottles at the heads of Michigan fans, just a completely obscure, obnoxious bunch of people. So predict the score. Michigan at Michigan State, Saturday night, $25 Venmo, just like we did against Minnesota, to the first person who correctly predicts it in the comments on this video. No editing, and you have to have your prediction by the time the game starts. First score prediction wins the $25. I'm going 42-3 on this one. And, did you really pay out that one? My guy, Daniel Vandebunt. Go look at the comments. If you don't believe me, he predicted the score, the prediction 2 Mondays ago. He got it in there. I sent him his $25. A Lannister and a Yoder always pays his debts. It's the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. A lot to talk about. Let's get started right now. I'm your host, James Yoder, and our top story is Jim Harbaugh's contract. Things are heating up. There was a meeting of the minds late last week. I'm going to tell you all about what went down and what Jim Harbaugh is demanding. And it's not maybe what you think, big-time money, extension, all that good stuff. It might be more player-oriented than some coaches around college football would have in their contract. Then we're talking about some injury rumors, right? Michigan had a few players out Saturday. What's the status there? And there's some crazy talk out there, message board, blog boys on Diamond Edwards. I'm just going to stomp out the crazy stuff they're putting out there. Guys, we put out 2 videos on Monday. Just kind of took a break on Sunday. Didn't want to compete with the NFL, so put out 2 Mondays. So if you didn't see 2 Monday, one went out about noon or so on Monday. Overreaction Monday. Link is down in the comments in the description of the video. Our Overreaction Monday on Michigan football. Then I did 8 minutes on the dot on J.J. McCarthy and some things that Jim Harbaugh said, looking at his future, the Heisman Trophy, Michigan's college football national championship odds. 8-minute ad-free. I didn't do any ad reads. We had no mid-roll ads from YouTube and didn't do any ask for subscribers or comments or anything like that. It's just 8 minutes of me riffing on McCarthy. Going back to that first video on Monday, here are our first 5 commenters. I want to give some shout-outs. We're going to do this a little more going forward on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, given maybe Monday's videos. So if you want on the show, be one of the first people to comment on Monday's videos. Tim Baker, the Taxman. Whoa, Taxman. I don't know what's going on there, right? See my comments. Hopefully I'm up to speed on that. Dylan, I think that's what's speed. So DILL or 114N, and then Green Arrow and Ken Legendary, however you pronounce it. Appreciate the comments. Tim Baker was like the first 5 comments. So always appreciate you, Tom, giving me some bosas there in the comment. Let's talk Jim Harbaugh, though. Progress was made. Harbaugh's 2 people, his representative and then his lawyer, right? Apparently traveled from my source to Ann Arbor late last week, like a Wednesday, Thursday thing leading into Michigan's Saturday home game in the meeting with Michigan's decision makers. I assume, of course, that means Ward Manuel, and I suspect it's the University of Michigan president, Santa Ono. Significant progress was made on extension terms. You guys know I said extend him 5 years, $75 million. Just go through that full 24 through 28 5-year Big Ten schedule that's out there. Key points, right? It's not all about money. It's not about buyouts. It is a lot on name, image, and likeness. Let's talk about what some of the things that Jim Harbaugh wants to have in writing on the contract. No more soft promises. No more, we care about this, we care about that. In writing, so it is contractually guaranteed. Harbaugh's demands involve Michigan allowing their athletes, like a few other schools do. LSU does it. Pretty sure like Arizona State, Jack, I think they do it. I saw a while back. Ohio State has a limited version of it, using Michigan's logo and facilities. Just imagine, right? We've got the $100,000 deal out to Jaden Davis. If instead of using the little emoji M's, we could put the Michigan M and not have to worry about Michigan's lawyers saying, you can't use that, you're confusing people, etc. Or film right from Schembechler Hall, film from the locker room if you do a show, or if Nissan wants to do a car deal, dealing with Donovan Edwards, they can come film him in his Michigan football gear and not have to worry about the school suing Nissan for doing an NIL deal. A lot of schools have that. Michigan's got like a limited version of it, need to go full-blown, and that's what Jim Harbaugh wants. My source tells me on Harbaugh that he is hoping to change the game, change the NIL game, just like he did in 2015, 2016 with recruiting, with all those camps around America, sleeping over recruits' houses. I'm not sure if that's frowned upon or not here in 2023, but nevertheless, sleeping with 17-year-old boys at their house, that's cool. Got Michigan to where they are right now, and Harbaugh hopes to change the NIL game going forward. I'm going to tell you exactly the points of what Harbaugh is demanding in his contract per my source in just a minute. But it is that time of week to tell you guys about Prize Picks. Today's sponsor, the ultimate daily fantasy sports platform that takes your passion of sports to the next level. I'm on like a three-play losing streak with Prize Picks, so I'm going to what I know, players who I think suck, and guys who are kind of making a little bit comeback. Russell Wilson sucks, so I'm going under or less. I'm going less than 224.5 passing yards for Russell Wilson. He had 90 or something the other night against the Chiefs. It was just a disaster. Jerry Jeudy, the Broncos are basically trying to get rid of him. He's in the trade block. He's beefing with reporters on the sideline. I'm going less than 48.5 yards for him, and I'm going over. Alvin Kamara, comeback season, fourth game in there. He's kind of getting back to old form. I'm going more than 53.5 rushing yards for him. I just put $5 on it. If I get those three predictions correct, I win myself $25. Big time. I can go up to 6 predictions, get 25x my money with Prize Picks. Make sure you use our link right there at the bottom of the screen, prizepicks.com/CLNS, to get a $100 deposit match. Put your first 100 in, get an extra 100 from Prize Picks using promo code CLNS. Use the link, prizepicks.com/CLNS, and that promo code CLNS. Link and promo code are down in the description and the comments of today's Michigan Football Report. Going back to Jim Harbaugh, looking to change the NIL game. I think Harbaugh is a guy like me. I look at things sometimes. People say why. I say why not? Why would we do that? Why not? Why can't we do that, right? Jim Harbaugh's got to be thinking out there, hey, Nike's paying us $11, $12 million a year. Meijer grocery store is paying us $3 million a year. Coca-Cola is paying us $5 million a year. All these national sponsorships, local sponsorships. Well, why do they have to pay it all to the school? Can't we just take a little haircut, a few $1 million from these 10, 15 big-time deals and wet the beak on the players? How would we do that? Well, let's talk about that here in a second. But before I go into these details, let's take a vibe, kind of a pulse of the room, of the Michigan football fan base. Will Jim Harbaugh be Michigan's head coach next season, 2024, the first year of the 12-team college football playoff, the first year of the 18-team Big Ten, adding Oregon, adding USC, Washington, UCLA? Just give me a yes or no down in the comments. I'm trying to get a vibe of what you guys are thinking, because sometimes people are like, I'm sick of hearing about this Harbaugh contract. I believe this is the biggest story around this program right now. Until Michigan gets to Penn State week, this is the thing we're going to be focused on. If it doesn't happen in that 2-week gap between Michigan State on Saturday and Purdue on November 4th, that's all I'm saying. Okay? I'm not saying anything. You get what I'm saying. Talk more about these NIL negotiations. Harbaugh is really focused on this. He wants to be competitive like Michigan has the last 3 years in perpetuity. Doesn't think they're going to be able to do it unless they get more aggressive, right? Want to land Bryce Underwood? Got to do some sort of things. So ask Michigan to look in the legality. Well, hey, could we take that $12 million from Nike? Can't we give 3 of it to our players? Or, hey, Nike, go from 12 to 15 when we renew this. Give 3 to the players, right? That gives $300,000 basically to all 100 scholarship players from Michigan right there. That seems like, or would that be 30,000? Maybe I'm doing my math correct. 30,000, whatever it is. You get 3 or 4 sponsors to do that. You get $100,000 for each one of your players. So Harbaugh's saying, look, go look at it. Is there anything that says we can't do that? That we could go to Nike and say, let's renew a 10-year contract, $150 million, but in these words, $12 million comes to Michigan, and you guys are committing $3 million to NIL deals equally, and the players have to do some things. They've got to do some social media stuff or whatever for Nike, but each one of our 100 players gets $30,000. That $3 million is spread across there. I'm surprised no one else is doing this, because when NIL started, I just kind of thought, well, Michigan wears Jordan. Why wouldn't Michigan's starting quarterback be a Jordan athlete? And no one's really done this as of now. So if Harbaugh is pushing this, and his reps can get it done. I feel that these lawyers making $900 an hour, they can get these answers in a matter of hours, let alone days, let alone weeks. They should have these answers for Jim Harbaugh 2 years ago when NIL started, let alone here coming up on what could be a third straight Big Ten championship team. It makes so much sense. I believe I've said it on the show many a times. Why doesn't Michigan divert money? Just put in the contract. As long as the money doesn't come directly from Michigan, there's nothing that I've seen that says you can't do this. So if Jim Harbaugh gets this put in his contract, Michigan will, in fact, change the game in NIL and be able to compete at the top of college football going forward. If you have yet to do so, subscribe to the channel. We've got news, rumors, insight like this. Nobody has a better pulse on the Michigan football program than Chat Sports. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Michigan TV. 28,000 subscribers strong. You won't regret it. Just go ahead and do it. If you don't like it, unsubscribe later. Hit that sub button now. Let's talk about Kalel Mullins, Michigan's third-string running back. Some people saying second-string running back. I'm going to mention that in a second, the rumors out there about Donovan Edwards. But missed the game this past Saturday versus Indiana. And according to what I've seen, he will not play against Michigan State. They're going to rest him up. Has a wrist injury, a sprain, and nothing that's going to require surgery. So he should be back in full health against Purdue on November 4th. Up for that stretch run, Purdue, Penn State, Maryland, and Ohio State. 23 carries, 147 yards. He's got a touchdown. He's really come on the last couple games that he has played in. How about Donovan Edwards? Now, someone sent this to me, and I created a temporary 7-day free trial to confirm it, and indeed it is true, is some of these message boards insiders. I'm going to call this guy out. Former recruiting guy, former failed radio show. His radio show was so bad they canceled him on WTKA, I think, which is the lowest rated sports radio station in all the state of Michigan. Michael Spath. Now he's like an insurance salesman, but he's still jumping on the message boards, talking about his sources, saying that the Michigan coaches have told his sources they're ready to move on from Donovan Edwards, right? They're not going to make him part of the game plan anymore because he's just, PUSSY. He can't break a tackle anymore. That's just absolute crap. I can tell you for sure. I've talked to 2 sets of parents around the program. They've asked their sons. Nothing like that's going on. You saw Corum. You saw Edwards going up the tunnel after the game, making cell phone videos. He looks happy. The entire team was happy for him when he got that touchdown. I think this is absolute crap, which is one of Michael Spath's way to try and push people to watch his podcast he's doing now that's also on YouTube. Funny fact, I checked it out. He's got 10 episodes of his podcast on YouTube, averaging 60 views per video. It's kind of takes like these that we know why he can't gain an audience. I believe in Donovan Edwards. My son believes in Donovan Edwards. He's getting himself a hell of a gift. I don't know if you guys have watched. We made a deal. If the Don scores a touchdown, Preston gets a present. Ice cream this past week was a present. So we're going shopping on Friday. Comment, Don, if you believe in Michigan's, I still think, star backup running back, Donovan Edwards. This dropped today. New locker rooms have been submitted for approval. Things still have to get approval, although Michigan says that the university will not pay for $1 of these $14 million locker room reconstruction and expansion, that they still need approval to get initial funding for the construction starting and get things rolling. Of course, you got to get things approved if you're making changes to university buildings. Target is this for it to be approved soon. Michigan starts fundraising towards it, and the ball gets rolling right after spring practice, May, June, July. It's ready for August when Michigan starts fall training camp for the 2024 season. Also in that proposal, $10 million to redo the Michigan basketball locker room, so a $24 million project. Wherever the football teams want, give it to them. You can't go on a 3-year run like this, up there with the best 3-year run the Big Ten seen in a generation, and not have this team get whatever the hell they want. Michigan should be printing money hand over fist with the success of this team. I mean, hell, Jack and I just got new sweatshirts, hoodies yesterday because Michigan football program's wet in the beak. So give them whatever the hell they want. $14 million approval, whatever it is. You as donors, as fans, make sure you're donating to get these locker rooms paid for. So that is the takeaway there for the show. Want to ask you guys one more time, predict the score, Michigan at Michigan State, $25 Venmo to the person who predicts the score first here on the Michigan Football Report. Get your ass down in the comments, make a prediction, because a Yoder and a Lannister always pays his debts. I will have a Michigan State preview for you on Wednesday. Till I see you guys then, go Blue.